To America's newest executive directors, first and foremost, congratulations on being selected. You often will have gone through a search. Your boards have been, excited to have you on board. You're into an organization that may be dealing with loss of the previous executive director, or you're a brand new startup and you're enthusiastic for a journey you know not of. So first and foremost, I say congratulations. Second, you have the opportunity to grow and to have mentors. And there are a lot of different organizations, such as through the Forbes Nonprofit Council and other places that you can pursue. If you allow me, I'll also mention missionbox.com as another example. You have the opportunity to be mentored. It's not uncommon that I've gotten a call from an executive who's facing something, and my contact information will be associated with this as well too. But I would say that mentoring is important. The other aspect of this is study the nonprofit organization that you're leading. Take the time to interview people, as many people as you can, each board member, as many of the staff, as many of the leaders, as many of your volunteers, many of the former employees, former board members, and especially the people who are your constituents, the people you assist, your collaborators, your funders, to really get that really strong 360 sense for you as a leader. I remember for a nonprofit that I was asked to lead many years ago, I might add, that this organization wanted a strategic plan. And that particular organization had gone through a lot of change. So what I did was just that. I got a mentor, had my own kids cabinet, but I made certain that I reached out to each and every group that I could think of. And what we learned is that we put together the strategic building blocks that eventually led 2 or 3 years later to have the kind of fungible energy that could really produce a dynamic strategic plan. That organization became nationally recognized. So, that's an example of where to begin. The other aspect, if you do have your master's degree or you don't have a master's degree, and you feel that there are areas that you need to grow in, the nonprofit sector now is offering throughout America a lot of wonderful training that you can go to. I will refrain from mentioning beyond the ones that I've mentioned already, but you can learn such as the changes that are coming with the new changes in FASB for the nonprofit accounting. There are already changes that we're looking at now that are different from before. So those are some of the things that I think you can do. But to think of the marathon, to think of what you do in new ways, and that means work-life integration. I think it was Covey who once talked about who I trade with as well. I might add, Dr. Stephen Covey. He said there was a study done, I think it was Pittsburgh, I may have that wrong, but they asked people who are in hospice, the one question, if you had to do it all over again, what was the one thing that you would do differently? And the number one response was to not work so much at the office, so the message for me is, how do you find, even in the rough and tumble, soul-crushing role as an executive director, that work-life balance? And, you have to find that in order to sustain that. And, for me, as an example, my goal this past year, as I do road bicycling, was to bike 50,000 feet into the air with my GPS, and I hit 55,000 feet. There's a few big tall mountains that I climbed. Not everybody needs to do that, but I find that for me, that sense of physicality is certainly a nice counterbalance to the kind of high pressure environment that you will find yourself in. And lastly, I will mention this: this too shall pass. That no matter what you're dealing with, no matter where you are, this too shall pass, and it does. And so the opportunity is, what can we learn from that? Every situation that happens is an enormous opportunity to learn. And so that to me is the most exciting aspect of leadership, is, to find what matters to you, in the words of my friend, colleague Tordal, to be on a quest freely chosen that's never ending. And it's a tough journey, but it is a noble journey and a life fulfilling one as well. So I wish you the best of luck as a new exec. I'll make my contact information available. But welcome aboard, and welcome to helping make a difference in the lives of people in this great nation, the United States of America.